Hello guys, and welcome again to this live stream. I am very sorry to announce that this game will not be streamed by, well, not streamed, it will be streamed by Robotic Maniac, but I will not be able to do the live commentary today due to one, I'm tired, two, I'm a bit sniffy. So I will not be able to do the live commentary for this game. However, there will be other live commentary for this game, but it won't be me doing the live commentary anyway. But guys, we're doing the usual thing, and I will do much and I will talk to you guys at the second half, and for the end of the game. So guys, thanks for tuning in, and let's listen. Who will win, Latvia or England? Let's find out in just a moment. Hello guys, and welcome everyone to Robotic Maniac. And here today will be live commentary, not from me today. I'm very sorry about that. But here we are again for the lineup for England. We have Harry Kane as our sole striker. We've got Rodgers. Then we've got Xhaka, Declan Rice, Anderson. We've got Lewis Skelly in the back four. Koza, Stones, and we have other and Spencers and Pickford in goal. We are playing in a 4-2-3-1, and the other side is playing in a 5-3-2. So whoever will win this game, I don't know, but all we can hope for is that we could get the victory right here on Robotic Maniac. Now I've just heard that a goal has gone in for the first for Yeet Town is Wilborn to Town 0, Yeet Town 1. There is other games happening in the divisions. There is the Northern Premier Division and the Southern Premier Division as well, central of that areas as well. There is this Northern South Division as well as that. In the Trophies Cup, we've got Blackpool playing against Nottingham Forest under 21s, and Bradford playing Everton under 21s, and Crew Alexander playing Liverpool under 21s. And actually, Blackpool are 1-0 up in that game. Brentford 1-0 up in that game, and Crew Alexander in 1-0 up in that game as well. Barclay Town in the qualifying stages of the FA Cup. Brackley Town versus Woking. Chester FC versus Morecambe. Harbour Town versus Old Trem. Hartlepool United and Gainsborough United, and other people like that. And as well, there's going to be Georgia versus Turkey, and Spain versus Burundi, and Portugal versus Hungary, and Italy versus Israel. And in our stage right here, England in the first, and right now it's going to be live on Robotic Maniac, and we'll be going to the live commentary for this game. And it is Latvia versus England. Who will win this game? Come on, England! Let's back the boys and make some noise! Come on, England! England!
the best Latvian performance of the evening. You can't win a World Cup unless you qualify, so let's get the job done. Let's get to the World Cup in USA, Canada and Mexico next summer. Win and we're in. Latvia against England, live on TalkSport with former England captain Stuart Pearce alongside Jim Proudfoot.
Thank you, Adrian, and a very good evening to you. That was a spectacular rendition of the Latvian national anthem, with 4 singers, all with fireworks around their heads, sparkling as it went off. It wasn't quite the crazy world of Arthur Brown, and if you haven't seen that, then I suggest that at half-time you give it a quick Google. This is the night that has become England's passport to the 2026 World Cup. Albania's win in Serbia on Saturday has provided a monumental safety net. Maximum requirement to win the group's only 3 points in the last 3 games. Even if they don't, they will be in the playoffs. But with England's impeccable record against sides from outside the top 100, it'll be some story if tonight isn't the night where everything is rubber stamped. And as England look to progress, few could argue that they haven't made progress along the way. Their early wins spoke of a team looking for a fresh identity. June's anodyne Andorra display underlined the magnitude of the task. But the breakthrough in Belgrade felt like a significant night. The blueprint for the future under Tuchel laid bare and followed up by the early demolition of Wales. How will they fare against elite opposition? Well, that's still unclear. But the World Cup beckons, so there will be a chance to find out. Tonight presents a chance for records to go hand in hand with the result. No England keeper's ever previously kept 8 clean sheets in a row. Jordan Pickford's tally could be extended to 9 tonight. And providing there's no early concession, he'll break his own record for the longest an England keeper's ever gone without conceding. Those milestones there for taking as he wins his 80th cap. In front of him, a back 4 of Spence, Konsa, Stones and Lewis Skelly. Anderson anchors the midfield behind Saka, Rodgers, Rice and Gordon, with Kane up front. Latvia make 3 changes to the team held by Andorra. Svidris in goal, Jakovskis, Vapes, Chernomordis, Baladis and Siganyeks. A midfield 4 of Varslavans, Vapner, Zelenkovs and Ikanyeks, with Gutkovskis up front. England tonight in all white and Latvia in their traditional two-tone red, very dark red with the lighter red trim. Well, those of us who remember the 1994 World Cup or Euro 2008 can testify that nothing is guaranteed. As tournaments expand, qualifications getting easier, but whilst others struggle, their fate hanging in the balance of potential playoffs, England's place in next summer's World Cup can be cemented here and now. Win in Riga, and they are there. England from the kick-off, going all the way back for Pickford. Anderson picking up the loose ball in the midfield as he drove it forward. You with TalkSport, and I'm delighted to say the former England captain Stuart Pearce is alongside us.
Evening, Jim. Yep, looking forward to this one tonight. Latvia dropped back in that really ultra deep block, and England have got to make sure they move the ball nice and quickly.
And they do so now. The ball inside the penalty area that is stabbed home at the far post by Kane, only for the flag to go up. England with the ball in the net after 43 seconds, but it's disallowed.
Yeah, super ball there in the box, broke the back line. Saka went in behind. I'm not sure whether he was offside or Harry Kane who poked it over the line, but good start for England.
Kane hoping to score his 75th England goal tonight. It will be the 20th different country that he has scored in for England, which actually isn't the record. Wayne Rooney has that. He's on 21, despite the fact that Kane is significantly ahead of Rooney. It's just about the only goal-scoring record he hasn't got for his country. England have it with Declan Rice, laying it back for Anderson, who's had such a stellar and swift start to his international career. Jed Spence hoping to emulate that. He's making his first competitive start for England tonight. He has the ball on the right-hand side, having started at left-back the other day. Now to John Stones, playing on the left of the 2 centre-halves, with Ezri Konsa to his right. Works the ball out of the left-hand touchline for Miles Lewis Skelly, and then gets it back, and now Konsa is going to be able to bring it forward out of that far touchline, which, as Adrian was describing earlier, lined with the trees that prevent sight of the local commuter railway line. And you will hear the trains whistling past every now and then. Here's Stones inside the centre circle, put under pressure by Varslavans. but able to work it out to the right-hand side of the midfield. England dominating possession as you might have expected them to. Ziganye should be able to clear over on the left-hand touchline and can play the ball forward down the Latvian left, and an early opportunity for Zelenkovs, working it forward, trying to get in behind the England back line, but the covering defending was good enough. And it's a free kick that's been awarded after a push by the Latvian left winger over on the far touchline. 3 gone 0-0 here on TalkSport.
Yeah, England have got to make sure that they mix the game up like they did with that disallowed goal earlier. It's a diagonal ball in behind the back line for a runner, and they've just got to mix it up a little bit from being patient and switching quickly to the odd diagonal ball to turn the opposition around.
Stones getting the ball in the centre circle for Anderson. It's a nice turn by Morgan Rogers, just a little bit too much on the through ball for Anthony Gordon, coming in off the left-hand touchline. And it rolls through to the goalkeeper, Svidris. They had 29 shots, England, when the two sides last met, but not too many of them on target. Only 8 of the 29 were on target, despite an XG of more than 5. There was an under-performance in front of goal, really. Ball towards the edge of the penalty area. And England just give a free kick away as Anderson comes across. And catches Vapne in front of him, one of the players brought into the team today. Latvia coming into this on the back of a morale shredding 2-2 draw with Andorra on Saturday. It did become only the 8th team to fail to beat Andorra in a World Cup qualifier in history. In fact, conceded twice to a team who'd failed to score at all in their previous 15 competitive internationals. They are ranked outside the top 140 in the world at the moment in the ELO ratings. And England's record against sides outside the top 100 is perfect through history. 47 wins from 47 games. Here's Konsa, bring the ball forward towards halfway. Getting it out to the right-hand side again. Spence back to halfway for Konsa. Konsa to Stones. It's making sure that the possession is effective and dynamic, that the game is played at a good tempo. Those are things that England have to improve against teams that sit back with a low block, as Latvia are doing here in this 5-4-1. They've got it forward here, England, to the edge of the penalty area. The Latvians trying to bring it away. Saka very quickly on the scene. Zelenkovs put under pressure, and Ziganyeks gets it away down towards the corner flag. He is going to be able to clear. England trying to win it back and can get their foot on the second ball. Stones rolling it forward. Anderson with a right-footed effort from the edge of the penalty area that he's blocked. And Latvia can get it away. Yeah,
this is the side of the game that England have got to get good at, is when Latvia do build up from the back and they're trying to play through the thirds, is we press well, and they've started pretty well on that. Just listening to the England fans, and they're singing away there. Our support isn't very good, with the odd expletive in there, and I think it's aimed at the manager in a comedy sense.
Yeah, I think that Thomas Tuchel's comments the other day, I think, were justified. I'll back to that in a moment as Saka takes it down towards the dead ball and then cuts inside the penalty area and still goes before Ziganyeks is able to get it away. I think Tuchel would also very much acknowledge there's a massive difference between the atmosphere at Wembley and the atmosphere that the travelling supporters would be able to bring. They also asked Tuchel to give them a wave on the back of those initial songs. Here's Rice, back for Anderson. Anderson forward towards the edge of the penalty area for Morgan Rogers, who just couldn't quite get himself into a shooting position, but Anderson's done well to win it back. Spence will be able to bring it forward. Now onto the right foot of Anderson, who pings it out of the left-hand side. The blonde-haired Gordon nodding it inside the penalty area, trying to get Lewis Skelly in, but again, the Latvians are going to be able to bring it clear with Vaslavans down the right-hand side. His ball forward runs straight at Anderson and then brought down by Rice. He can poke it forward for Kane, running to the edge of the penalty area. Gordon to his left. England trying to load the box, and Kane has fired it narrowly wide, 8 or 9 yards out, and he's put it a foot wide of the left-hand post.
Yeah, really good interchange play by there. Once again, England turning the ball over just inside Latvia's half. And at that stage, Latvia have spread to play slightly, and the England players are getting a bit of room to play. Kane initiated it. Gordon crossed, and then Kane, well, he surprised a lot of us by missing the target.
Just a brief break in play as the Greek referee, Mr. Sidiropoulos, who's a regular in both the Greek and Saudi leagues, comes across and just hands something to the fourth official. There will be a goal kick, which will be taken by Christianis Svidris, a relative newcomer to the Latvian national team. He didn't cover himself in too much glory in that game against Andorra the other day. Let one slip through his legs for the Andorra equaliser. They will be able to bring it forward. Latvia now to the right-hand side of the box. Gutkovskis stretched out a right leg. Subsequent cross comes in, headed away very effectively by Stones. And then England get further distance outside their own penalty area. Gutkovskis helping it forward again, but Stones is there to calm things down. And Anderson immaculately buys himself 2 yards of space with a neat turn in the midfield to get England going forward again. Yeah,
the one thing you can say about the Latvians, they built up from the back, technically very good on the ball, and they've shown that when they do get the opportunity, getting it out wide, getting it in the box, technically they're pretty proficient.
Lewis Skelly plays it forward. Gordon is fouled. Now it's a free kick which will be taken on the England left-hand side. It was Vapes that gave the free kick away. No thought of loading the penalty area. Gordon immediately back on his feet and swings the ball inside the penalty area. It's half cleared out to Anderson, urged to shoot by the England supporters, but in doing so it was a shot that just hit Zelenkovs right in front of him. Saka working it back for Spence. Outplayed inside the centre circle for Ezri Konsa. Down to the left for John Stones. Stones to Miles Lewis Skelly, with the ball rolled away from him and goes out of play for a throw that will be taken on the Latvian right-hand side. We're through the opening 9 minutes, Stuart. What have you made of England so far without having had the ability to create more than the one chance?
I think the tempo of how we've played the ball's been very good. Looking to play forward passes, been really impressed with Morgan Rogers' position to receive and get turned. And also as well, when it has broken down and Latvia have looked to counter, Elliot Henderson's been in really good positions just to mop things up and start the attack again.
He's been very high on the man of the match list in all 3 internationals that he's played for England so far. Probably we're given the accolade in 2 of the 3. Here's Lewis Skelly. As the rain begins to come down here in Riga, finding Anthony Gordon, who comes back away from the edge of the penalty area, plays it back for Anderson, and now it goes out towards Bukayo Saka, who's level with the edge of the Latvian penalty area, threatens to chop the ball onto his left foot to get a cross in. Now will be shown back inside and swings it in again. It comes back out to him a third time, looping cross deflected away towards Lewis Skelly, who just waiting for the ball to drop. There was a contact between him and Varslavans. Referee says play on. Kane picks it up and swings it out towards the corner of the penalty area, then made his way towards the far post. Initial attempt to bring the ball down, he couldn't find it, and then as he nodded it down eventually towards Anderson, he's cut across it and sent one just high and wide at the top right hand corner. 11 gone, it's still 0-0.
Yeah, I think what England have got to do when they do get into these wide areas, if a one-on-one take on isn't on, don't be afraid to just put it in the box. We're always picking up things on the edge of the box if it is cleared.
Well, the other country that can cement their place from the UEFA qualification groups tonight is Portugal. They will be there if they win and Armenia don't, but the Portuguese are trailing at home to Hungary in the early stages. Attila Salai scoring for the Hungarians, who would move within 2 points of Portugal at the top of that group, Group F, if it were to stay that way. Portugal 0, Hungary 1, a long way to go. Ireland also in action in that group. They're out tonight if they were to lose and Hungary win. That's currently 0-0, the Irish game. We'll keep you updated, of course. It's Anthony Gordon working the ball towards Miles Lewis Skelly towards the edge of the penalty area. And back it goes for Gordon again. Getting towards the byline. Left-footed ball hung up towards the far post and headed away. England winning a lot of second ball around the edge of the penalty area at the moment, and they have it again here with Spence. Spence back for Anderson to Stones. 12 gone and 0-0 here on TalkSport. Another ball in from Gordon into a dangerous area. Good movement came from Morgan Rogers, who tried to get on the initial loose header away from Chernomordis. but couldn't hook it back in potently. Straight out of play into the side netting, and it's a goal kick. 0-0, but so much early possession as far as England are concerned. We expected that to be the case. It was in the high 70s when the two sides last met. As I mentioned, the shot count was up in the very high 20s, and England will be expecting to be emulating both of those figures tonight, but it's just a question of whether they can show a little bit more efficiency in front of goal. Anderson's done well to win it back in the midfield again. Kane poking to his right. Rodgers brings it forward. Here's Bukayo Saka inside the Latvian penalty area. Getting it onto his left foot, hooking it back. Lewis Skelly with time to bring it down. Left-footed shot was going wide, was blocked anyway. And the Arsenal teenager runs round the loose, deflected ball, which bobbles through the midfield, and now gets it back out of the right-hand side, and Saka will be able to come again. His left-footed effort is high and wide of the far post. And it remains 0-0 here in Riga.
Yeah, this game's following the same format of the Andorra game, which after the game there was a lot of criticism. I didn't see it that way. England are playing with really good tempo at the moment. They're moving the ball quickly from side to side. The press is really good. So when they have lost the ball, or Latvia try to counter-attack us, we're aggressive on our press. There's so many good things about the start of this game. The only thing we haven't done at this moment in time is score a goal. But I think that comes when you keep maintaining this tempo, Jim.
And could easily have scored that goal through Harry Kane. The England fans' good-natured banter with Thomas Tuchel's continued, and Tuchel's acknowledged it with a thumbs up as Lewis Skelly tries to get in on the edge of the penalty area. Svidris, the goalkeeper, could control the ball that was laid back in his direction. He had the time for the second touch, and then Jakovskis will win a throw, which will be taken on the Latvian right. Well, Latvia beat the Faroes 13 months ago. That looks a better result now than it did this time last week after their two impressive wins, but the only other team that they've beaten over the last 13 months is Andorra. Coming here in no kind of form. Gordon to Lewis Skelly. Another left-footed ball inside the penalty area. Goes down towards the corner flag and out of play. So 14 gone 0-0. It was often one of the criticisms, England's failure against sides that operated with a low block to be able to get crosses in. You think back to plenty of England games where the ball would be played out to the left-hand side and then work back across that imaginary horseshoe back out to the right, but there has been a real willingness for England to get early ball in from the flank so far. Haven't always been effective, but they're looking for that cross whenever they can. No,
I've bemoaned it many times. It's gone out wide, it's been switched, and then it's not come in the box. I think we got the balance right at the moment. It's gone out wide. If it's not on because for any reason it's either been put in the box and we pick seconds up, or we've recycled.
And England have it again over on the right hand side with Spence. The sliding challenge comes in. Sigonyek's getting it away, putting it out for a throw that England again have taken quickly. There's been a really good tempo about England from the start of recent games. It's something else that hasn't always been in evidence, but it has over the last two or three. Here's Anthony Gordon, that's gone over the bar. Another sight of goal for England, 25 yards out. Speculative attempt, but Svidris doesn't have a save to make, and it remains 0-0 here on TalkSport. Here's Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, we've just probably the only downside, the negative I've seen so far is probably when we have sort of opened up the goal slightly, we've not found it. Gordon on that occasion, Saka just before him, and Elliott before Anderson before him, so we've just got to clean that up slightly.
Kane has the ball again, chips it back to his left hand side for Lewis Skelly, worked forward by the Arsenal youngster to Anderson, out towards Saka in his bright yellow boots, standing it up for Declan Rice, who made a run inside the penalty area, but it was headed away by Chernomordis, and then Lewis Skelly's caught his man as he brings it outside the box and has given Latvia a free kick. Well, don't forget the latest daily football podcast will be out at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. A full debrief from everything that has happened here in Riga this evening, with Adrian Durham, myself and Stuart dissecting this performance straight after the game. And TalkSport's now on your smart TV as well. Just grab the app on Android TV and Google TV. We're even on Prime Video. So TalkSport live on your screen as well as your speakers, with a big weekend to come. 4 EFL matches and a huge 12:30 kickoff in the Premier League as Ange Postecoglou's Forest take on Chelsea. That's all coming this weekend here on TalkSport. Turkey leading Georgia by a goal to nil tonight. That's in Group E, which is Spain's group. Turkey hoping that Spain don't beat Bulgaria this evening, but they will. But Turkey hoping to at least maintain the 3-point gap to Spain at the top of that group, and they're going the right way about it at the moment, leading by a goal to nil. Latvia trying to bring the ball forward. Rice has won it back. Rice to Anderson. Now Anderson turning in the midfield. Goes back for Declan Rice again. Now down towards Anthony Gordon. England working it out to the far touchline, the right-hand side, the empty side of this arena here in Riga. Ball played out to Anderson. Anderson for Spence. Spence waiting for options to arrive. He's given it away, and Gutkovskis, the Latvian number 9, has done as much as he could have done there by winning a free kick. He just put the brakes on with England players converging on him from all sides. Knew that some contact was inevitable. Didn't have an out ball, but he has won a free kick, which they will take over on the far touchline and work it back into their own box.
The one thing that's impressed me about England, we've had a lot of possession of the ball. It's not what we've done in possession, it's out of possession. And we've just re-won the ball again. Very, very aggressive, dynamic press, and I think that's really enjoyable to watch. Morgan Rogers on that occasion pressing. Lewis Skelly is the beneficiary of it. Fantastic pressing.
And again, that's something that has improved markedly. We were always used to complain about the fact that when you had Harry Kane playing up front and he was quite isolated, there was no press, but there really is now.
Yeah, and Latvia want to break. When they get the ball, they want to rest, they want to break. And England are not just letting them settle at all, and it just takes more and more energy away from the opposition.
Well, 19 minutes in, and England haven't had a shot on target as yet. They have had 7 attempts off target though. Rattling up the half chances, needing something a little bit more concrete. Gordon trying to get inside the penalty area, staying on his feet. The offside flag is up though against them over on the far side. Actually probably just ran the ball over the byline before pulling it back. And it is going to be a Latvian ball. Elsewhere in this group, Andorra 1, Serbia 0. The latest score. Serbia without a head coach and trailing in Andorra by a goal to 0. Ball clear by Svidris. Latvian goalkeeper playing it out towards the right-hand side where Lewis Skelly could get the ball back under control. Serbia actually have equalised pretty much straight away in that game. 1-1 then between Andorra and Serbia. This one's 0-0. We played 20 minutes on the night where England need a win to cement qualification. Anything less and it won't happen tonight. Here's Gordon's ball inside the penalty area, which is swept away. One back by Ezri Konsa. Gutkovskis trying to make life difficult for him. Latvians changing their formation tonight to a 5-4-1, having played a 5-3-2 here against Andorra. Anderson finding Konsa. And Konsa going out to Bukayo Saka over on the right-hand touchline. His ball forward not the best, it's cleared. Gutkovskis always the out ball with very little support, such an isolated figure. Stones can get it back under control for England and bring it forward again. Anderson into the feet of Morgan Rogers. Back out to the right-hand side for Jed Spence. Good movement off the ball from Bukayo Saka. Plays it immediately back for Spence. Anderson joining in. Lewis Skelly making those familiar darting diagonal runs from full-back into the centre of midfield. Has it in that area now. Gordon buzzing around in front of him with Rice supplying the width on the England left for a moment. Now the ball inside the area. Kane coming to meet it. Headed away by the Latvian captain Chernomordis. And out of play for the first England corner of the night. 0-0.
Yeah, I think England are strangling the life out of Latvia at the moment. They're passing the ball 1 and 2 touch, quick movement, and they're making Latvia work from side to side. And whenever they turn the ball over, England players are going there en masse, individually, collectively and quickly, and I like that.
Corner to be taken then over on the England right. Saka waits on the edge of the penalty area. Doesn't look as though Rice is going to knock it short, though. He's going to fire it inside that box towards the penalty spot. Chen and Mordis is there and heads it away. Comes back outside the penalty area again for England to be able to recycle it with John Stones. Stones put under pressure, can just pass it off to his right-hand side. Now Saka, another chance to deliver. Low one in towards the near post that is flashed away. And Gutowski's trying to bring it under control. Will just be able to clear his lines. Back it comes again. England immediately winning it back with Anderson. Anderson to his left-hand side for Lewis Skelly as Portugal equalise at home to Hungary, keeping their hopes of qualification tonight alive. Crossing from the England right, easily headed away by Vapes on his full debut. Anderson. England again on the edge of the box. Gordon, Harry Kane into feet, trying to get it back from Lewis Skelly, who did a few favours with the ball. Latvia win it back and then give it away straight to Anderson, who has won possession back so many times. And this time wins a free kick, which is taken quickly, finding Kane with a little give and go across the edge of the penalty area. Now Saka will be able to join the attack. He's gone back for Anderson. All of this play away to our left-hand side, with England having had 75% of the ball so far. Anderson tiptoeing his way through the penalty area. Lewis Skelly's crossed too deep. Thomas Tuchel can't hide his dismay at that. And Latvia will be able to bring it away over on the far touchline and then give it away as Spence is in there, making life difficult for Ikanyeks. And England get a throw, and they've taken it quickly. Still such a good tempo about this England performance, even if the breakthrough hasn't come yet. It is coming. Lewis Skelly turning away this time, finding Anderson. Back to Lewis Skelly again. Anderson to Rice. Rice 20 yards outside the penalty area. Tuchel keeps throwing his arms up, a little bit frustrated. Back it comes for Rice once more. Rice down towards Anderson. Another chance for Lewis Skelly to deliver. He passes it on towards Gordon instead, and a little double ricochet back off Anthony Gordon gives Latvia a goal kick.
Yeah, I think what Tuchel's gesturing at, I think he wants Spence just to get wider and start to overlap on occasion when he needs to. But I've been really impressed with his performance, because I'm looking at a team and I'm thinking to myself, what have you worked on this week? And I'm looking at a team that's moving the ball quickly, 1 and 2 touch, White from side to side, and more importantly pressing aggressively and turning it over almost immediately as we lose the ball. Really good play in my eyes.
Turkey lead Georgia by 2-0. Qatar are through. They have won by 2-1 against the UAE in a game that had 15 minutes of added time. Qatar went into that down to 10 men, but they held on to win 2-1. They have qualified, and the UAE go into a playoff against either Saudi Arabia or Iraq, depending on who doesn't make it through in that group. Here's Gordon on the England left again, running quickly towards the edge of the penalty area. Right-footed effort is a beautiful goal. Anthony Gordon picking it up on the left-hand side of the box, shown inside onto his right foot, and he arrowed one with real precision in off the inside of the right-hand post to give England a 1-0 lead, which has been coming since the very first whistle.
Absolutely wonderful play by England. Been really, really impressed with the tempo they've set, the movement of the ball, and more importantly, the press that we've had. Latvia managed to break into England's half, but a turnover of possession, and John Stones it was who's identified a ball in behind. Great ball into Gordon, and Gordon all of a sudden he's found not too many Latvian defenders in front of him and just faded it into the far corner. No less than England deserve.
Well, he scored his first goal for England against Ireland in November. That's his second, 11 months on, and if it stays this way, England are at the World Cup.
Yeah, I think we went to major tournaments on occasion and looked at us, and the start of the game really frustrated me, the way we played it sideways and slowly. And when you're playing against lesser players, you have to set a tempo, and England have done that brilliantly.
So Anthony Gordon with the goal, England leading by a 1-0. And a match in which they've completely dominated not just possession but territorial advantage as well. Jordan Pickford, I don't think, has had a touch of the ball. He's made it past his existing record with ease so far tonight. It's now 747 minutes since he last conceded a goal, which is a New England record, beating his previous mark set in 2021. Might have a little bit of work to do here as Latvia mix it up with a ball over the top for Jakovskis. He's going to be able to pick it up down by the corner flag. His cross that is flashed in is easily knocked away by Stones onto the running track in front of us. And now to play for a Latvian throw. 1-0 England.
Yeah, just had a situation there. The ball was cleared forward and all of a sudden Morgan Rogers has gone after it like a bat out of hell with Declan Rice behind him. Really good aggressive play.
And of course we won't know exactly how good this England rebirth is until they play against a team in the top 10-20 in the world. Jakovskis plays the ball inside the penalty area here, and a little flick towards goal. It's cleared from in front of Pickford. There's a handball shout as the cross hit, I think it was Konsa, on the edge of the 6-yard box. It ends up going out of play for a corner over on that far touchline to Latvia. But the referee, I think, has just told the players to wait for a moment. The VAR having a look at the incident as the cross came in from the right-hand side of the box. Whether it hit an arm, whether it hit a rib cage, it does look as though the check is going to be complete and play will continue with a corner.
Yeah, Lewis Skelly just got done with a give and go on this side. He shouldn't have done, and Pickford was out berating him afterwards, and rightly so. Yeah, I think it's a little hitch kick at the near post, and then the Latvians claiming a penalty there, but I think Konsa was confident it hit his chest.
Yeah, hasn't been given. Vantner's going to take the corner, which is Latvia's first of the night. England leading by a goal to nil. Vantner with the right arm above his head. Jakovskis trying to get free. Kane heads it away out to the edge of the box where Saka will help it further clear, finding touch, and out for a throw that has been taken quickly by Sigonyeks, the diminutive left back for Latvia over on that far touchline. He's laid it back to halfway. Jakovskis, Baladis. Back for Jakovskis again, who's playing on the right-hand side of the back five tonight. He's the centre-half really by trade, offering a little bit more defensive stability in the wider position, but he has put a couple of potent crosses in. We're half an hour in, and Anthony Gordon's goal's the difference between the two sides. England an hour away from cementing their place in the USA, Mexico and Canada next summer. A tournament that you will, of course, hear live on Talk Sport. Ball played out to Sigonyeks on the left-hand side. Ikanyeks making his way forward as well. Sigonyeks can't get himself into a position that he can deliver a cross, and instead wires into a challenge and earns himself a yellow card. It's a very poor challenge on Jed Spence.
Yeah, Spence just demonstrating there his prowess on one-on-one defending. Very good angle of approach. Took the ball off the Latvian wide player, the wing back. Just rolling, he's okay, he'll be up shortly, but the tempo that England have set in this game, Jim, has just been fantastic for me. You know, we've got the goal, admittedly. Now's not the time to take our foot off the accelerator. The press has been brilliant. The moving of the ball, 1 and 2 touch, has been fantastic.
These are the games that it's very easy to draw criticism, I think, if you're an established nation in the top 20 or 30 of the world, and England inside the top 5 in both sets of ratings at the moment. You think back to Andorra away in June, albeit in much hotter conditions than this. The difference between that performance and this one, absolutely immense, even if the scoreline at the moment is the same. It's 1-0 England with 31 minutes gone. England fans in fine voice and good spirit away to our right-hand side. Are we loud enough for you? The latest chorus that has been aimed at Thomas Tuchel. The play by Vapes, stepping away from a challenge on halfway. Baladis, who had a spell at St Johnstone at one stage in his career, working it forward through the midfield. Varslavans. Back inside his own half, Baladis, Chernamordis, and now Vapes, who will get it towards halfway, rolling it into the feet of Zelenkovs in the midfield. Jakovskis making his way right in front of us down the Latvian right. Ball in for Zelenkovs once more. Varslavans wearing 8, trying to push forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Spence is there. Now in a no-nonsense style, just whacks it away from the edge of the D. Out of play for a throw. England leading by a goal to nil with 12 to go to half-time here on TalkSport.
Yeah, I think Tuchel will be pretty pleased with what he's seen, but the Latvians on occasion, when they've gone forward, they've been very, very direct in getting the ball in the box, and England have done quite well so far to make sure they blocked any potential counter-attack or threat.
England looking tonight for what will be a 6th straight away win. They're actually unbeaten in 10 away matches since the game against Italy in the Nations League back in September 2022. They've lost on neutral territory since then and haven't lost an away game for more than 3 years now. And they have possession in the midfield with Anderson. And England substitutes out, warming up in front of us, including Nico O'Reilly, who will be hoping for his England debut tonight. Still a player that you would think will have an outstanding chance of making his way into the 26 when it is picked in June for the World Cup. I think we can safely say now that England will be there. All they've got to do is keep a clean sheet tonight from here, and they've done it. Leading at the moment 1-0. Latvian flag still fly away to our left-hand side, billowing in the breeze. The rain has abated a little here. And what is a pretty cool evening. Could say it's Baltic. Ball out on the right-hand side for Saka. Saka bringing it down, finding Anderson. Anderson bypassing Lewis Skelly, working it out to Harry Kane, who's supplying the width on the England left this time. He works the angle as Gordon tried to do effectively for the goal. Kane's right-footed ball deflects it, hits Jakovskis, and then it's headed away and out for an England throw over on that far side.
Yeah, it was Kane on that occasion, drifting out to the left-hand side, just trying to open the goal up a bit, but sheer numbers stopped the angle into the far corner.
Is that 1-0 to the library that England fans are now singing?
There's a comedy theme to their singing, and credit to them for it. They're very vocal tonight, the England fans. Humorous aspect.
Yeah, and that will definitely be acknowledged by Thomas Tuchel, who will say, well, I've got the response I wanted.
Indeed.
Corner to England, their second of the night, be taken over on the right-hand side. Swung it towards the penalty spot. Heads go up for it. Konsa will let it run back outside the box for Anderson. Anderson tried to work it immediately out to the England right. It took a deflection off Jakovskis, which actually knocked him off his feet. And England will be able to play on with Latvia down to 10 men for a moment. Jakovskis rubs his right knee. I think that was certainly a sore one for him. And play will just stop for a moment. Spain leading Bulgaria by a goal to nil. Mikel Merino, the man that has scored that goal. And that will maintain Spain's 3-point lead at the top of Group E. Turkey currently beating Georgia by 2 goals to nil. Another game in this group tonight, Andorra 1, Serbia 1. England, who will qualify if they win here in Riga, are a goal up thanks to Anthony Gordon's great strike 10 minutes ago. Stones in possession. Stones square to his right. Konsa poking it forward for Saka. Saka to Rodgers. Couldn't quite get the return ball, Bukayo Saka. Jakovskis battling with Konsa and losing out to the Aston Villa man. And now Anderson, who's probably touched the ball more than anybody else, which is becoming a recurring theme of his England performances. And he gets it out towards Saka. Saka turning in off that right flank for England. Back for Anderson once more. Down for Anthony Gordon, drops the shoulder, gets to the byline, pulls the ball right across the edge of the 6-yard box. No England player there to be able to tap it in, as Zigarnieks is going to be able to bring it away. Yeah,
top quality wing play there by Gordon. He's just dragged it down the touchline, drilled it low, and you're just waiting for a tap in, and for some unknown reason there wasn't an England player there.
And now Rice will be able to bring it forward, and he's found Gordon again. Gordon right-footed, and this time he's put it wide. Quick touch with his left foot onto his right, opened up his body, claiming a deflection. But he siphoned it just past the post and out of play.
Yeah, the England players claiming there was a little nick on it that pushed it out and wide of the upright. But opportunity that went past there. Just looking at the replay of the earlier chance, played it straight across into no man's land, and Harry Kane on the far post just couldn't sort his feet out.
Poor clearance from the goalkeeper. It hit Rice, went back towards Gordon on the edge of the box. Latvia hurriedly gathered away. Who's there to win it back again? It's Elliot Anderson, this time being brought down by Varslavans. Free kick taken quickly by Rice. No let up in the tempo, which is good to see, even though England have got the advantage. Still going, foot on the jugular. Turkey 3, Georgia 0, and here in Riga it's 1-0 England.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, when we look at the stats of this first half, I bet we've had more turnovers in the opposition's half than we have probably in 10 years of international football. It's been incredible, the press. That side of the game's been magnificent.
Saka. Anderson's ball in, looking for Gordon. Volleyed high up in the air by Chernomordis to get it away. And then Sigurdsson over on the far touchline will do his best to get past Spence. He's been able to do that, but his clearance goes down the touchline and Anderson's there again.
Well, as I say, his credit goes to Spence, who put pressure on.
Kane from distance and 30 yards out, but he's put it wide.
Yeah, but every player's in tune on turnover. We've got to get after the ball. We've got to chase the ball. The energy of Morgan Rogers and Declan Rice has been brilliant, but the rest of the team have pitched in really well.
Goal kick taken short to the goalkeeper from his centre-half, Chernomordis. And his ball forward towards halfway is won by Konsa. Gutkovskis has had no change out of the England back line so far. Ball is work back for Stones. Now Anderson will bring it through the centre circle and get it out towards the right-hand side. Pressing, I'm sure you're aware, is measured. Everything is measured these days, all footballing metrics, as Rogers plays the ball in here and it's knocked away. There is a thing, PPDA, passes per defensive action. And so basically how many passes you let the opposition make before you try to win the ball back. The lower the number, obviously, the more intense the press. And those numbers have gone down significantly since Thomas Tuchel came in. More so over the last 3 or 4 games. It has been as low as 4. The match at home to Latvia, there was the most intense press of Tuchel's reign so far. It could be even lower than that today. I mean, it's sort of hovered around in sort of the 6s and 7s by and large in Tuchel's reign. England benefiting from turning possession over here again towards the edge of the penalty area and winning a free kick, which sees one of the Latvian defenders booked for his challenge. A little bit of holding going on Bukayo Saka, and it is a free kick to England. But the press has been impressive under Tuchel. He's got more so game by game, but it's the best yet tonight.
Yeah, all you're doing is fighting the opposition on your terms. We are an athletic team. We are an aggressive pressing team. We need to keep showing that. And you're talking about pressing numbers coming down. I would say, on what I've seen with my eyes, Jim, this is somewhere between 2 and 3 passes from Latvia before we get the ball back.
Very impressive so far. Certainly the best facet of England's performance so far. 4 minutes to go to half-time. England leading by a goal to 0. And looking for a second. Free kick just outside the right-hand side of the box. Rice is waiting for one knocked square. Saka doesn't oblige. He's fired it in instead. Headed away by Sigurdsson outside his penalty area. Further clear from Zelenkovs. England winning the loose ball inevitably with Anderson. And now Rice back out towards Bukayo Saka again. Rice back for Anderson. Anderson in a more central area as he rolls it to his left for Anthony Gordon. Gordon taking a touch, passing it back through the midfield towards Rice. Rice out towards the right for initially Spence. Now Rice with a delivery again. It'll break Rogers' way on the left-hand side of the box as it's half cleared. Comes out for Kane. Anderson coming onto it. Clip back inside the penalty area. Chernomordis heads it away. Anderson's got it a third time in this particular phase of play. Little exchange of passes with Lewis Skelly. Rogers working it in. Anderson, cross the face and goal and wide.
Just took the brilliant interchange by England there on the edge of the box, and Anderson's just taken the wrong option with his feet, really. I think he's tried to almost toe bung it, if you like, and got it wrong. You've got to open your body up, get round the ball and curl it into the far corner, shape it, as did Gordon for the goal. But England, the intensity's been brilliant. Would like to see us be more aggressive when the ball comes in the box, attacking headers. I think the Latvians have done extremely well in that respect.
Well, then it's Anthony Gordon's goal that's the difference, and he's won it back this time. Finding Kane immediately inside the penalty area. Little reverse ball, keeper comes out. Rice trying to nudge it past him. Svidris' handling was good speed of mind coming off his line. Because if Rice had got there first, it surely would have been 2-0.
Yeah, he certainly would have done. And once again, it's an England press and an England turnover high up the pitch that's created the opportunity.
And again, and Kane's got it this time and fires it in. 2-0. Job done. 6 qualifier. It's going to be 6 wins out of 6 for Thomas Tuchel in competitive fixtures, and it is a place at the 2026 World Cup guaranteed. The captain scores again. It's Latvia 0, England 2. Dust off your passports, pack your suitcases. England are on their way.
Yeah, quite often when you play these teams, Jim, that sit back, play very deep, we've sort of let them get in a tempo and get a breather in between our attacks. This England performance hasn't done that. They've strangled the life out of the Latvians. Every time they've tried to play out, there's been an aggressive press. We've talked about it all through the first half, and on that occasion the press turned the ball over and it freed up Harry Kane for the finish.
5 goals in this World Cup qualification campaign for Kane. He's now got 22 in 20 World Cup qualifiers in his career. Up to 75 goals for England. And he's netted in all but one of the matches that he's played under Thomas Tuchel so far. I mentioned earlier, Latvia now the 20th different country in which he has scored for England, just one short of Wayne Rooney's national record. Kane in possession here, drilling a high ball down to the left-hand side for Gordon. Gordon's reverse ball for Declan Rice. Rice standing it up towards the far post. Header comes down, and Svidris tips it away and denies Kane 2 in 2 minutes.
Brilliant play once again by England. Switch of play there. Great reverse pass by Gordon. Declan Rice stood one up at the far post, and it was almost akin to Pele's header, and Gordon Banks' save in 1970. Not as good as the great man's save, obviously, but a close second.
Close-ish. Going to 1 added minute at the end of this first half. England leading by 2-0. Thanks to Gordon and Kane. And looking for a third before half-time. As Declan Rice spots the ball down, preparing to take this corner, and England have flooded the 6-yard box. 7 in white shirts in there. Svidris did well. Didn't get stuck in the traffic. Was able to paddle it away, the goalkeeper. And England will pick up the loose ball as it's desperately knocked away. Comes back out towards Jed Spence. Spence to Anderson. Back for Lewis Skelly and down towards Gordon. And then Gordon turns and works it through the midfield again. Anderson. Spence. Spence's ball forward out to the right-hand side for Bukayo Saka. Saka down to Stones, and Stones inside the centre circle will play it forward out to the left for Declan Rice. As Rice fouled there, the referee has put whistle to mouth and has stopped play. I don't know what has happened, but with England in possession, can't imagine that it's a free kick because he would have played the advantage. Has he seen a penalty potentially, or has the VAR seen something?
I think Harry Kane went down, and it wouldn't surprise me if it was Harry Kane that was fouled from that set play. But the referee's going back quite a long way here to have a look at this. But the England players certainly appealed, mainly Harry Kane. So interesting to see the replay of this one.
Fanasios Silos is the VAR There were so many bodies inside that 6-yard box, and the referee's going to give England a penalty. Kane going down inside the box. And the first half is going to end with England's captain getting the opportunity to make it 3-0. Chernomordis is the defender involved. He has been booked. And as the rain begins to come down again, Harry Kane picks up the ball and strides forward, preparing to take this spot kick. And a chance for him to score twice in the last couple of minutes of this first half to give England a 3-0 advantage in the Baltic rain. Kane shuffles back to the edge of the penalty area. Just adjusts the placing of the ball. And now takes 3-4 steps back towards the edge of the box and then stops. Speedress, the goalkeeper, clapping his hands. Which way is Kane going to go? Kane runs up, hits it into the bottom left-hand corner. It's 3-0 to England. They might be playing a side outside the top 100 in the world, but this has been ruthless. Very, very impressive professional job tonight on a night where the result was all that mattered. England are 3 up at half-time. Job done.
Well, fantastic for England at half-time. 3-0, Harry Kane twice on the score sheet. And I think they're very different goals, Stuart Pearce. Let's take them one by one. First of all, John Stones finding a ball over the top, and sometimes you just got to do that. If it's beating a low block, if it's getting somebody into space like it got Anthony Gordon into space where he could cut inside and get in a position to score, then I think that's fantastic. Great pass from John Stones for the goal one.
Yeah, it was a super pass. Sometimes you've got to mix the game up, you know. I think we moved the ball brilliantly quickly, but on that occasion, turnover of possession in our half, we drew the Latvians out slightly. The ball was on in behind, great ball in there, and Gordon cut inside and just faded it into that far corner.
Terrific goal. Harry Kane got his first. Now, Jim Proudfoot in commentary was talking about the stats with regard to England pressing and winning the ball back. Harry Kane's first goal this evening in this first half was all about winning the ball back in an advanced position, getting it to Kane, and he finds the back of the net. This was an example of how Thomas Tuchel has tweaked England.
Yeah, and it's been tweaks, and it's the tweaks that needed certainly doing. This is the most aggressive I've seen England press for a long, long time, you know. And we've got the athleticism to do so. We're playing Declan Rice further up the pitch now. Morgan Rogers has got an appetite to work hard and press as well. And I tell you what, England have turned the ball over in the opposition's half, and I'm going to stick my neck out here and say more than any other game they have in at least the last 10 years, at least. And that, you've got to do the dirty work before you get the rewards. We've done the dirty work for 45 minutes, and the rewards are 3 goals.
It's an impressive finish as well from Kane. You know, he kind of strokes it, guides it into the corner beyond the keeper, doesn't he?
Yeah, and to be fair, both the first goals have been exactly that. We've seen players in the first half that have tried to put too much on it, used the wrong technique. But it's interesting to see that the 2 goals have come by players just guiding it into the far corner on a slippery surface.
Yeah, that was Kane's weak foot, apparently, the left foot.
Is it really?
I don't think it is it? The penalty was a weird one. I mean, I've seen it back a couple of times now, and it feels like a very soft penalty that's been given by the referee. England will take it all day long. They're going to a World Cup, but Harry Kane, the corner comes in, Harry Kane goes down. He's under pressure. There's physical contact, there's no doubt about it. And if you look at his shirt, you can see that his shirt is being held. But is that enough for a penalty?
For me, in the modern game, probably not. But I don't think it's when Harry Kane went down. It was the grappling a few seconds before he's gone down. He's made the most of it and appealed for it. But I think there was certainly a tug on his shirt. But for me, sometimes in football, you get your rewards for the sweat you put on your shirt. We've got a reward in a penalty there, for me, for all the effort that they've put in out of possession.
I think Harry as well, to be fair to him, and I'm describing the foul for which we got the penalty, sometimes it's 50-50. He's not got hands on his opponent at all. His hand's got the opponent's hands are all over him. So,
well, exactly. He's behind. The opponent's behind him. He can't do anything about that. VAR have had a good look at it. They've called it back, give a penalty, and so be it.
You, me, and Jim are going to be doing the podcast after the show tonight. It'll be out 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, the TalkSport Daily. Download it from where you get your apps. We'll be discussing England are going to be at the World Cup. There's no doubt about it now. They're 3-0 up. They just needed to win. They're going to be at the World Cup. We'll be discussing the squad. Elliot Anderson, yet again, is having a great game for England. And you can say, yeah, it's only Latvia. I get all of that. But you've seen young players come into the England squad and maybe sometimes they've been a bit rabbit in headlights. The shirt is heavy, we hear. Wearing the 3 lions is tough sometimes. He looks like a natural, doesn't he?
He certainly does. As I say, from the moment he stepped on the pitch on his debut, he's played extremely well in all the games, very assured in what he's doing. And what he's done for England, certainly in this game, every time that ball's popped out the box and gone beyond our front 4 or 5, it's been him that's picked it up and stopped attacks in their tracks, and that is a major asset for the team. Just looking at Bowen's just come out. Bowen's got his tracksuit off, so I wonder whether Bowen is going to be coming on this second half, Aid.
Well, his legs are out, mate, so it looks like that could be happening. The rain on and off, it was pretty heavy towards the end of the first half, but what a first half. 20 minutes gone on Thursday at Wembley. England were 3-0 up and the fans were quiet. 20 minutes gone here tonight. England hadn't had a shot on target and you couldn't shut the fans up. They're in great form, bantering with Thomas Tuchel. It was brilliant to witness, and then the goals started to flow. Just after Stuart Pearce had said he was very impressed with England, they took the lead. Just before half-time, Harry Kane scored, and then England got a VAR penalty. 3-0 up and on our way to the World Cup. Let's get the half-time odds with Ladbrokes.
Odds update on Talk Sport with Ladbrokes. Get a free bet every week of the season and a big boost every day. That's Ladisfaction. Minimum £5 bet. Conditions apply. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Well, the England subs are out there running towards us across the pitch. Jared Bowen has got his shorts on, legs out. Dan Burn, legs out as well. The rest are all track-suited up, so interesting to see who comes.
Goal. Anthony Gordon. Kane's got it this time and fires it in. 2-0. Job done. 6 qualifier. It's going to be 6 wins out of 6. Which way's Kane going to go? Kane runs up, hits it into the bottom left-hand corner. It's 3-0 to England. They might be playing a side outside the top 100 in the world, but this has been ruthless.
No doubt, England on their way to the World Cup in USA, Canada and Mexico next summer, and it feels so good. This international break drawing to a close. Friday night, the EFL is back live and exclusive on TalkSport 2. Middlesbrough can go back top above Coventry if they beat Ipswich, who are unbeaten in 5. That's from 7 Friday nights on TalkSport 2. Stuart Pearce will be on duty for game day exclusive from 11 Saturday morning as the Premier League returns. Commentary of Nottingham Forest against Chelsea. What a game that is. Coventry are in action Saturday afternoon, 3 o'clock, home to Blackburn. That's live and exclusive. It's not on telly, that one, from the Championship on TalkSport 2. At the same time, I'll be taking you around the grounds. All the goals as they go in. I'll be based at Man City against Everton, Brighton, Newcastle. Another game. Burnley Leeds is on as well. Also on Saturday evening, Leicester Portsmouth live on TalkSport 2, 7:45 kickoff. Sunday game day live with Sam Matterface. It's all your football on a Sunday, 1:30 through till 6:30, and we've got a Monday night game for you as well from the Premier League. West Ham against Brentford. It's a London derby as East meets West. I'll be at the London Stadium for that from 7 p.m. on TalkSport. Sam Matterface and Danny Murphy will be on commentary duty, and then we're back for Champions League next week. It's been brilliant first half off the field as well. The England fans were properly bantering Thomas Tuchel. Are we loud enough for you? Tuchel, give us a wave. Our support isn't very good, or lyrics to that effect. Tuchel gave them a thumbs up. Once more, there was a loud, rather derogatory song about Gary Neville. And then a long spell with an away fan's favourite, the Great Escape from the England fans.
Swap flanks now. Tonishev's has come out of the left. just try and get out of the firing line. Touch. It's out of play for a Latvia throw. 6 gone second half. 3-0 to England on easy street.
Yeah, if you walked in the Latvian dressing room at half-time and said, what's the most impressive thing and what is the biggest frustration that you've faced this first half and start of the second, they would say every time I've received the ball to try and play out from the back, there's been a white shirt swamping me.
Well, the two Latvian fullbacks have swapped back again. Ikanieks chasing a ball forward. He's trying to nod it on towards Gutkovskis. Spence got there first. He wins the aerial battle. And England will be able to build again from the back as the fans in the 3-4 rows in front of us are now beginning to take a little bit of evasive action away from the weather as the rain comes down on a chilly evening. Rice balling from the left from Lewis Skelly was behind all the targets. Rodgers has come back and tried to win it back. And again, that forces the error as the pass came to Zelenkovs and he hit it forward hurriedly and missed Siganyeks from close range.
He's impressed me tonight, Rodgers. You know, he's worked tirelessly out of possession and he's always looked to get turned and play that probing pass through the lines.
And one of his old clubs, Middlesbrough, in action Friday night. Our next live football here on the TalkSport network. It's on TalkSport 2, Middlesbrough-Ipswich, a game that could have real implications at the end of the season. It's an 8 o'clock kick-off on Teesside Friday night on TalkSport 2. Here's Bukayo Saka on the right-hand side of the Latvian penalty area. He's just laid the ball back. Anderson rolling his studs over the top of the ball. Tries to get across in Zelenkov, stopped that happening, but he couldn't get possession back. Lewis Skelly. Out to the England left for Declan Rice. And England just stringing the passes together. Ball's worked out towards Konsa. Spence is in space on the right. Kane made a darting run into the edge of the penalty area. Rodgers had actually gone past him and was the furthest advanced of the England players for a moment there. Saka has it now. Saka, who scored England's last hat-trick, and that was more than 2 years ago in a 7-0 win against North Macedonia in Manchester. It's nearly 4 years since Kane's last England hat-trick. He'll be hoping that run ends in the next few minutes. Declan Rice has got it. Buzzing away through the midfield. Spence trying to stay onside. It's managed that, but the ball went in towards Saka. Saka couldn't help it on effectively. Anderson again winning the seconds. Just turned into trouble, actually. And Ikanieks tries to get it away, and he can play Gutkovskis. Pickford's back on his line. Great challenge coming in from Konsa. Absolutely immaculate defending. Gutkovskis preparing to pull the trigger. And in slides Ezri Konsa from his right. Won the ball cleanly. And Pickford can pick it up.
Yeah, magnificent recovery challenge there by Konsa. He's gone to ground, had to get it right, and he certainly did.
Back header from the substitute Tonishevs just finds his goalkeeper Svidris with Gordon lurking. And Latvia will get it and play it back to the edge of their own penalty area for Chernomordis. Just a reminder of the trivia question. The night that Jordan Pickford breaks his own record for the number of minutes without conceding a goal for England. He's currently at 774. Who are the 8 other goalkeepers as a shot comes in and not too far away from the top left-hand corner. Goes out of play. The Latvians are saying that it is a corner. Pickford thought he was beaten and is very quickly out, having an inquest with the defenders in front of him. But apart from Jordan Pickford, who are the 8 other goalkeepers who have kept 20 clean sheets or more for England? For a bonus point, of those 8, which one has got the highest clean sheet ratio? So who's kept the highest number of clean sheets per cap of England's goalkeepers to have kept 20 or more clean sheets, just for a bonus point? And that's tough, by the way, because I think that particular goalkeeper is the toughest on the list to get anyway. Here's Saka attacking the edge of the box. Back he goes for Spence. 3-0 England lead, 10 minutes into the second half. Spence back for Saka. Saka goes to his left-hand side for John Stones. Stones, the deepest of England's outfield players. He just picked up possession there, rolls it forward. Rodgers flicking it on. It's easily cleared by Vapes over on the far touchline and then helped on again down that far side, but Should be one back easily, and is over on the England left by the covering stones, and he will play it forward again for Ezri Konsa. 3-0 to England. More like Premier League action coming up for you Saturday. Forest-Chelsea. So plenty riding on it. Game day live from 11 for a 12:30 kickoff in the East Midlands. 12:30 here on TalkSport. Gordon's ball inside the penalty area. Rodgers tried to react, flicked it back towards Kane, but couldn't find him. England recycle it. Spence, Saka having his shirt pulled. He's under real pressure from Sigurdsson, who has already been booked. No suggestion that was a bookable offence, but he's just got to be careful, the left back. Rodgers out towards Rice. Rice rolling it down the left-hand side of the box. And Lewis Skelly couldn't get the ball in, and Latvia again are able to clear. 3-0 England lead.
Got a couple of goalkeepers for you. You've got my shout them out.
Yes, please do.
Clements and Shilton.
Well done. Masterstrokes. Here's Spence, right-hand side of the box. He's checked it onto his left foot, fires it inside the penalty area and heads it away. And to come back out towards Anderson. Down towards Saka to Rodgers. You're right with both Shilton and Clements.
I have got a few more on the list, but I'm drip feeding you.
Yeah,
at the moment.
I knew you just wanted to. You're playing the game. You're putting the easy ones out there first. I get it. I understand that your rationale. Here's Gordon. Now down towards Spence again. And now to Saka. Saka's on the right-hand side of the box. Checks. Onto his left foot. Flicks it back. Spence with a chance to deliver. Kane was waiting. Goalkeeper comes out and punches it. And it's bobbled in. Declan Rice walks away. I think it's going to go down as an own goal of Tonishev's. They made a real mess of getting that clear. England have a fourth. Could be Declan Rice that it hits last. But England just recycling the ball over on the right-hand side, firing it in. The celebration's only muted, which would suggest that it has hit a Latvian player last. But the bottom line is it's Latvia 0, England 4, and the night gets better and better.
Certainly does, and England just had to be patient there, but on occasion it plays to just pop it into the box, and that causes absolute bedlam. Good ball in by Spence, and it's hit.
It's hit the substitute Tonishev's.
Yeah, it's hit him. He couldn't adjust those feet, and it's ended up just nestling in the back of the net. And with that, England are going to reach for the bench.
Now we're going to see Ezra Bowen and Jordan Henderson. Declan Rice is the first player to come off. Guarantee that Harry Kane won't want to come off under these circumstances. Morgan Rodgers' number is up as well. So Rice and Rodgers, the first two players that are coming off. And with Bowen waiting, is it going to be Bukayo Saka? Looks like it. He's making his way over to this near touchline. So Saka, Rodgers and Rice being replaced by Jordan Henderson, Ezra and Bowen.
Yeah, I've got to say, both Rice and Morgan Rodgers have been outstanding tonight. Their levels have been superb, their energy has been superb. They're pressed from that mid-band and made it very, very difficult for the Latvians. Really good.
So an hour gone, Latvia 0, England 4. Here's Gordon. England bringing it forward again. Gordon just nudging it past his man, getting inside the penalty area. And then checking back out. Can't get a cross in. And England 4 up. But still their appetite is undimmed. They want to lay down a real statement victory here. They've now scored 17 goals in this qualification group without reply. And 20 by the end of the night isn't inconceivable. They've got another corner here as they look to make it 5-0.
I'm just, Thomas Tuchel's come into post. What's he been involved? 6 months now or so? And I'll tell you what, I think at this stage, with the way he's turned the team round, with this performance, he'll be excited about what the challenge in front of him now. Prior to that, I think he'd have been a bit underwhelmed.
England flooding the 6-yard box again as the corner comes in. Stones is attacking it. It's nudged away from Kane, and they'll do it all again with another left wing corner, which is England's 4th of this second half already. As they're going across to take it. It's not just the crowd scene inside the 6-yard box. Half of the 6-yard box is vacant because they're all standing on the toes of the goalkeeper, who must be able to touch probably 11 players from where he is. In it comes from Eza, plenty of whip on it. Stones going up for it. Pinball inside the box. Gordon on the turn sees his effort blocked. And eventually it's cleared by Siganyeks and out of play for a throw.
Yeah, ended up being a good block there, but absolute carnage in the box. Goalkeeper's got so much traffic in front of him, he can't come for it.
Now, you talked about Tuchel's record. Now, this would be his 7th win in 8 games. Only 2 England managers before him have won 7 of their first 8 games. It's Glenn Hoddle, who won 9 of his first 10, and Sven, who then drew number 9, having won 7 out of the first 8. So Tuchel's record is up there with anybody who has preceded him at the start of his reign. Long way to go, and it's not the first 8 of his reign that are going to be important. It's what happens in the last 8 of this contract that will be of paramount importance from an England perspective. Ball is with Jordan Henderson over on that far side. Dan Burn warming up on his own at the moment for England. A milestone for Burn if he gets the chance to come on tonight, which more later, as the ball is flicked on here by Spence, who's playing very high now for England down the right-hand side. He's found Bowen. Bowen to Eza, the 2 substitutes linking up here for England, who are 4-0 up in the Riga rain. Eza again, hair tied up behind him, flicking the ball down towards Henderson. Henderson controlling it neatly, working it to his left for Anderson. And Henderson back towards Jed Spence. Eza just walking away from the edge of the box. Latvia trying to condense things in the midfield, and that back 5 is surreptitiously shuffling forward. It's by no means a high defensive line that they've got. There is a little bit of space for England to try and play the ball over the top. They've worked it back out wide instead towards Lewis Skelly, though. 63 minutes gone. The night that England are going to cement qualification for the World Cup, and Portugal probably will as well. They're still 2-1 up. Turkey now 4-0 up against Georgia elsewhere. Reverse ball in from Kane. Eza with the shot. Good save from the goalkeeper. It's his best moment. And then is Gordon given a shove by Tonishevs inside the box. The VAR will have a look at that. I don't think anything will be given. But it was a decent save from Svidris to deny Eza diving away to his right.
Yeah, I don't think it was a penalty. Certainly the man to my left, Adrian Durham, give a sort of John Inman type hand wave.
Another one for the kids.
Exactly. I've got 2 goalies for you.
Yeah, go on, give me another 2.
We've got Banks in goal.
Yes.
And we've got Chris Woods.
You see, Chris Woods, I think, is the hardest of the lot. Well done. So Chris Woods, of all the goalkeepers to have kept more than 20 clean sheets for England, has kept a higher percentage of clean sheets than anybody else. So well done. You've got 4, another 4 to go. Give it the full SP about 5-6 minutes time. England in possession again with this 4-0 lead. Anderson going back outside the penalty area where Jordan Henderson works it down towards Eza. Eza to Spence. Important that the substitutes in coming on don't let the tempo drop and keep up the freshness they have so far. Spence with the ball in. Svidris collects it, sliding out on this wet and grimy surface, and is able to bring the ball under control, flushes it with one hand into his midriff.
Yeah, fantastic play there by Eza. He just fed one through the back line, and there's not much room there. And it was Spence who got in behind. His ball across the face of the goal, superb.
Here they come again with Anderson in towards Bowen, and he's cleared from just in front of the goalkeeper in the nick of time by Siganyeks. If he hadn't got there, Kane might just have been able to flick it over Svidris and in for his hat-trick. Ball out of play for a throw. Another chance to make a change. This time Latvia bringing Dashkovic on, and they'll take Vaslavans off. Now, the African qualifiers that are happening tonight, the significant ones, both Senegal and DR Congo both lead by a goal to nil, and that means that Senegal will be qualifying tonight. We've already seen South Africa cement their place this evening from the African qualifiers. Qatar have made it as well in the Asian qualifiers. The Saudi Arabia-Iraq game is still 0-0. That would be enough for Saudi to go through tonight if it stays that way. England are going through, so too Portugal, the first 2 European qualifiers. Here's Bowen, left-footed effort, that's wide, and out of play for a goal kick.
Yeah, Bowen just cut inside there, and he's put no fade on it. He's hit it straight, and it's gone exactly where he was aiming, wide of the goal. I've got 2 goalies for you, and I'm sealing out at this stage.
Okay.
Dave Seaman and David James.
Are both correct. So you've got 6 of the 8. So you've got Shilton, Seaman, Banks, Clements, Woods, and James. Well done, 6 out of 8, all correct.
I've run out now.
You've run out. Well, the other 2 are both relatively modern. The ball is played forward. You've certainly worked with one of them, if not both of them. Pickford clears. Ball is out for a throw. Taken quickly on the Latvian left-hand side by Dashkovic. And he's got it again, running towards the edge of the penalty area. Left-footed ball inside the box is half cleared. It's going to come out for Tony Shevs through a crowd and just wide. And Pickford might have been struggling had that not just been taken a nick in front of him to help it wide of the far post.
Well, the dive that Pickford put on there, it looked as though that ball had beaten him and nestled in the corner. But he keeps that clean sheet record hovering at the moment.
788 minutes and counting. The corner is taken short, and Pickford palms that one away, and then an overhead kick from the edge of the penalty area is nearer a throw-in than a goal, but it was an acrobatic attempt for Chernomordis. But the first save was half decent from Pickford. It came through a crowd, got both hands behind it to beat it away.
Yeah, greasy ball, movement behind it as well, and good goalkeeping.
Dan Burn is going to be coming on for England in a moment, and that will be change number 4 of the 5 that are permitted.
I've got a goalie for you, by the way. My esteemed colleague next to me, Joe Hart. How have I missed Joe Hart?
Joe Hart, correct, who has kept more clean sheets indeed than Pickford. He is second place in the all-time England list. Here's Anderson inside the penalty area. Right-footed effort has bobbled up. It might break Bowen's way. Sharp defensive header from Vatner prevented that happening. Down towards the corner flag where it's whacked clear. Jordan Henderson gets his head to the ball in the midfield, and then Stones will be able to work it back forward. So we're going to see Byrne. We're also going to see Marcus Rashford coming on in a moment. Rashford for Gordon to leave Kane on. You would imagine that'll be the case. A slightly unsubtle shove on Elliot Anderson in the midfield from the substitute Dashkovic. The player's allowed to go on with Ebre Eze in possession for England. 21 minutes to go. The ball is over on the England left. It's a far touchline in front of those green trees. Still very much in foliage this time of year. Ball played back to Konsa. Konsa inside the centre circle for Stones. Work forward again for Anderson. England 3 up at half-time. They've extended the lead to 4 in this second half with an own goal. Harry Kane's got 2. It was Anthony Gordon that got the opener. Spence trying to get the reverse ball and the return ball from Jordan Henderson, and as it goes out for a throw, England will be able to make the changes. Dan Byrne coming on, and it will be the 500th senior appearance of his career for club and country, which is always such a commendable milestone. Doesn't include the games that he's played in non-league as well. That's just senior appearances. So Byrne is coming on. He's going to replace John Stones, and Gordon is coming off to be replaced by Marcus Rashford, who, after Thomas Tuchel's words, might feel that he's got a little bit to prove with 20 minutes to go.
Well, I think with the development of this team and this squad, I think every player's got something to prove, that is for sure. The bar's been pushed up by the level of press tonight and the performance to just add on to what we've already seen this season with the performances from England.
Senegal leading Mauritania now by 2-0, so they're going to be qualifying in the African groups tonight. Georgia have a consolation back in Turkey. They still trail 4-1. Here's Harry Kane, as deep as we've seen him so far tonight, but making a darting run inside the penalty area, having fired the ball off to his left. Rashford nudges it back. Jordan Henderson immediately with a little reverse ball out to the left, and it's cleared at the near post out for another England corner.
Yeah, Skelly just had his cross block there. Interesting. I expected a touch more from Lewis Skelly, but sometimes you've got to, when you're sat up in the commentary box as we are, you've got to bear in mind the young, tender age that he is. You know, great learnings for him, this.
Yeah, it's only 3 weeks past his 19th birthday. It's the now traditional setup, or the setup that we've seen frequently tonight for an England corner, with everybody in front of the goalkeeper, including Dan Burn, the tallest of the lot, who is wading in like a nightclub bouncer onto a particularly naughty dance floor. And he's standing there, pushing and shoving and jostling and standing his ground, and he's got 3 hanging off his every word and off his shirt. In comes the corner, in towards the near post. Burn, the inevitable target. It was a good header away from Ikanyeks, and out for a throw that'll be taken over on that far side.
These corners with the crowd scene are looking more dangerous before the ball comes in, sadly, you know. I'm not sure they're working particularly well, to be honest with you, but it's just irritating the goalkeeper a touch, but we're not getting first contact on them.
A double change for Latvia. Reja and Samuljevs are the players that are coming on as Ireland take the lead at home to 10-man Armenia. Evan Ferguson with the goal. Barsigyan's been sent off the Armenians. Ireland leading Armenia by 1-0 in that group, which currently stands Portugal 12 points, Ireland 4, Hungary 4, Armenia 3. So it's a night that might just transform Irish prospects in Group F. So Samuljevs coming on. He started the game at the weekend against Andorra. He started most of the games in this qualification campaign. A man that once scored away to Germany. Samuljevs has come on, and so too has Reja, the striker who's replaced Gutkovskis, who's run tirelessly with almost no service so far. England with the throw over on the far touchline. I'll give you the answer to the trivia question at the next break in play. Konsa getting the ball forward for England inside the centre circle. Jordan Henderson to Elliot Anderson. Lewis Skelly coming off the left. Rashford that just deposits the ball back towards halfway. Konsa has it again. Konsa down towards Jed Spence. Spence, Bowen flicking it down the line, almost letting the ball run. Eza was on the same wavelength as him and picks possession up. Back it comes for Jordan Henderson again to Spence. Spence down the line. Bowen given a shove, stays on his feet, gets to the byline and wins the corner. So those 8 England goalkeepers with 20 clean sheets or more, and you've given me Shilton, Hart, Seaman, Banks, Clements, Woods, James, and I know that Adrian has number 8, which was Paul Robinson. So many congratulations if you got all 8 of those. Shilton, Hart, Seaman, Banks, Clements, Woods, Robinson and James. Eza to take the corner. England's 9th of the night. In towards the near post on the penalty spot. Oh, good save from the goalkeeper. Kane came to meet it. Goalkeeper got his thigh behind it to get it away. Bowen in now, left foot in. That's volley clear from the edge of the 6-yard box by Tonishevs, the scorer of the own goal. Lewis Skelly back for Spence. Now out towards Eza. Eza running towards the edge of the box and then just stops. Lays the ball square to his left for Anderson. Rashford can deliver. Another ball inside the penalty area. It might break Burns' way. Still fought from the last set piece. And Ikanyeks will volley it away. That was the old England corner work short. The old Teddy Sheringham one. In towards the penalty spot near post area. Kane coming to meet it. Struck it sweetly. Goalkeeper did well.
Yeah, he certainly did. Dan Burn played his part there, getting a really good block on, but when it comes to Harry Kane, you know he's so sure-footed, he's going to get it on target. Goalkeeper couldn't have seen much of it.
England in possession once more with Jordan Henderson. The Ivory Coast are going to qualify tonight as well. They're now leading Kenya by 2-0. They will qualify unless they don't win and Gabon do, but the Ivorians are 2-0 up, so they also are going to be making it through. I think we're going to be up at the end of the night to 28 countries that will have qualified for the World Cup. So that's 2/3 of the qualification spots before the playoffs. England doing well, get to the byline. Another ball stood up towards the far post. Then a mishit shot from Spence, which was cleared. A loose ball breaking out towards Burns. Done really well. Great strength from the tall Geordie to win it back. And England have it again in the midfield. Worked forward towards Anderson. Latvia trying to keep a defensive shape in this 5-4-1, but England have been able to breach it on numerous occasions as Spain go 3-0 up against Bulgaria. English shot count up into the 20s now. They have given possession away here, and possession will be worked for very quickly by the centre-half Balladis, who then, as possession is turned over by England, is out of position. Bowen trying to make the most of that, and England get nothing more than a throw out of it. 13 to go, 4-0.
Well, when they do a debrief, come whenever it is with England, you've got to turn around and sit down and say, teams who play a low block, what do? We press hard, we press aggressively, and we strangle them in their own half of the pitch. That's the starting point. We get the ball and we move it quickly, 1 and 2 touch. That's secondary. If you do those things, you'll end up with a big scoreline. If you don't do them, you'll have a tough evening's work.
Now, Chiesa has been caught as he tried to turn about 20 yards from goal. He's okay. The referee has now pulled play back and given England a free kick. I thought initially he just stopped it because Eza was down, but probably on the advice of one of his assistants has given a free kick, which is going to be taken a yard to the right-hand side of the edge of the box. A crowd here tonight is pretty much a sellout, 10,400. One of the smallest international venues that England have played at in recent years. A crowd of 10,404 here this evening. Italy 2, Israel 0 elsewhere. Retegi's got both of those. And Serbia, who trailed in Andorra earlier, 3-1 up there. Bowen swings his free kick in. Everybody left it. And he didn't quite creep in at the far post.
Yeah, I'm really disappointed there with Jared. You know, you've got to get that on target. If it misses everyone, it's got to go inside the far post. He's hit it with pace, good shape, got everything right. And you could get an ooh from the crowd for it, but you've got to get it inside the far post.
Another long ball launched forward by Pickford. Another opportunity, probably only about the 3rd or 4th of the game, for Latvia to bring the ball forward. Tonishevs. Ikaunieks. Twisting away, a little pirouette around the edge of the penalty area, but laying the ball back towards halfway has taken any momentum out of the counter-attack that Latvia were trying to launch. They've only had the one shot on target tonight. England, for their part, have only had 6. That might be a disappointment as far as Thomas Tuchel is concerned. Might be as far as you're concerned as well. Your reaction, of course, on the sports bar follows us. 03717 223344. And interspersed with your reaction, we'll also be hearing from Thomas Tuchel and all the England headline makers with our England correspondent Faye Carruthers. We'll be conducting the interviews in the tunnel area away to our left-hand side here in Riga. We've got 10 minutes to go. Latvia 0, England 4 remains the score. Gordon on 26, Kane on 44, and in the 3rd minute of first half stoppage time from the spot, Tonishev's own goal 13 minutes into this second half. England haven't scored for more than 20 minutes now. Eza, and as having been caught a few minutes ago by a fellow substitute, Bashkovic has just given him one back there. And it's a free kick which will be taken by Latvia on the left-hand side. We've talked about the positives, and there have been plenty of them. Just give me your negatives. Not negatives with a capital N tonight, but where's the room for improvement, Stuart? I'll get your thoughts on that in a moment. Ikaunieks is making his way forward here towards the edge of the penalty area, and if anything, tackled himself as he just tried to lay the ball off. He And close to tripping over the ball. Byrne then wins the free kick and finds Lewis Skelly.
I'm really nitpicking here because I'm struggling. Nothing comes immediately to mind. But if I'm looking for a negative in this, in any way, shape or form, I would say we've had opportunities in and around the box to get finishes away and failed to hit the target on occasion by offering the wrong technique, in my opinion.
Yep, 21 shots and only 6 on target. And I suppose that that kind of replicates the lack of efficiency that we saw last time England played Latvia, where, as I mentioned earlier, it was 29 shots and 8 on target. You'd certainly be hoping for more than a 30% success rate in terms of the accuracy of your shots, but that's what England have hit in both games. They might be able to get another chance here as Bowen tries to turn inside his man, and he flicked it one side of Chernomordis. Came close to hitting his arm. The ball rolls through towards the goalkeeper Sviedris, and another promising moment just fizzles out. 4-0 England lead. Certainly with 2 goals in the first half, I think Harry Kane would have been eyeing up a potential hat-trick tonight, maybe even 4. Last time he scored 3 for England, he did get 4. It was a match against San Marino back in 2021. England bring it forward again. Lewis Skelly getting to the byline, pulling it back, and sliding challenge gets it away to deny Marcus Rashford the opportunity to find a teammate, and it goes out for another England corner.
Yeah, top wing play there by Rashford, just pushed it on the outside and just went, great pace. Right side centre half come across, he was dipped as well, and really good play. Got a round of applause from Thomas Tuchel. And that's the power of England at the moment. You take one off and all of a sudden one comes on that's got even more pace.
England's latest corner is worked short. Back outside the penalty area for Elliot Anderson, whose shot is deflected but doesn't break for Byrne. England winning it again with Anderson. Little 1-2 between him and Konsa. Jordan Henderson swings it in. Back in from Rashford. England players coming to meet it at the near post. Bowen couldn't turn, and Latvia will clear with Tonishevs towards halfway. Looking for Reja, the substitute, and it's bounced off him and out of play for an England throw. Well, we'll be dissecting the whole performance on the TalkSport Daily Football podcast with Adrian Durham and Stuart and myself talking through all the major talking points from tonight's game and the potential makeup of the England squad as a result of what we've learnt tonight, and that's going to be out from 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. And don't forget, big weekend of footballing action ahead. 4 EFL games and a huge 12:30 kickoff in the Premier League, Forest Chelsea. And then Monday night it's West Ham Brentford, also exclusive on TalkSport, 8 o'clock. The 7 o'clock build up with Adrian in the chair and Sam Matterface alongside Danny Murphy. Monday night for a London derby as East meets West. 6 minutes to go here in Riga as most of the Baltic continues to fall on the pitch, and the England fans. Ball chipped inside the penalty area and Spence is first to it. He's laid it back for Elliot Anderson. Jordan Henderson with a no-look reverse ball back for Anderson. Anderson now to Konsa. Konsa to his left-hand side for Byrne. Senegal cementing their place. 3-0 up now against Mauritania. Well, they definitely will be qualifying tonight. Here's Jordan Henderson again. Henderson down towards Spence. 5.5 minutes to go. Henderson letting the ball stop for a moment. Henderson supplying a run to his left. And it's worked into him and then out towards Dan Byrne. And then Lewis Skelly making a run ahead of Marcus Rashford, who's been lively since coming on. But they couldn't quite work the ball between them effectively. Chernomordis is there to knock it away. Byrne in there strongly. Play back through the midfield. Bowen trying to win it back and has been able to win it back. Rashford making a run in an offside position ahead of him, but Eza is onside. Rashford checks his second run. Eza, good goal, 5-0. Brilliantly struck by Berich Chiesa, his second for his country, and it sets the seal on a very impressive performance tonight here in Latvia. England leading by 5-0, rubber stamping their place in the World Cup with another performance, notwithstanding the quality of the opposition, that gives you hope that it could be a very promising summer ahead.
Well, this performance has buoyed me up more than any performance I think I've seen from England, certainly under Thomas Tuchel. Every element of it was in place. You just said earlier, Jim, that there's 5 minutes on the clock. With 5 minutes on the clock, the England captains running backwards to try and put pressure on a counter-attack. The rest of the England players, Dan Burn was doing it as well. Bowen turned the ball over, and when he supplied it to Ezra, the cutting edge was there. But the energy in the last 5 minutes to keep the enthusiasm, the energy and the drive and the movement of the pass has been absolutely brilliant.
Well, when you consider how poor England were in that game against Senegal, as Jed Spence picks up a yellow card here for a foul. It's the first indiscretion from an England player. When you consider how poor England were in that game against Senegal, since then they bounced back with a 2-0 performance against Andorra that you certainly thought was better than it was publicly acclaimed. A 5-0 win in Serbia, a blistering opening 20 minutes against Wales where they blew them away into a 3-0 lead, 5-0 and counting tonight here in Riga. And things are going in the right direction pretty quickly now. Latvia work it forward, it goes out of play for a throw which will be taken over on the England left.
Well, I've just seen Marcus Rashford sprint probably 30-40 yards to get to their goalkeeper and force the goalie to play the ball out of play in his own half. If you keep doing that unselfish work for the team collectively as a group of players, you'll have success and you'll be very difficult to play against. And if you do get knocked out in a competition somewhere on your journey, you'll leave no stone unturned in having a go to get through any competition.
Now Latvia have made another change, and it is a debut for the 20-year-old Kristaps Grabovskis, who is a regular for the under-21s. He plays his club football in the Danish second division. He's come on for Ikauniaks. I did Jed Spence a disservice as well. It wasn't Jed Spence who was booked. It was Reja, the Latvian substitute, who was booked. There's a little coming together between the pair of them, and it was Reja's reaction that earned him a yellow card. So England haven't had a player booked tonight. Bowen's gone down just for a moment on this near touchline. I think he's going to be okay. He's just feeling his the toes of his right boots, back on his feet as we speak. And Latvia bring it forward in the 89th minute. Little reverse ball down the left-hand touchline for the Latvians. England leading by 5-0. The first ever game on Latvian soil. And having beaten them 3-0 at Wembley, they're 5-0 up here in Riga. Ikauniaks hoisting it forward. Burns there to knock it away. Comes out for Daskovic towards the edge of the box. Now to Baladis, the centre-half, pushing forward. England have got more defending to do as the ball is played inside the box, and it's cleared. And then whacked high up in the air again towards the edge of the penalty area where Bowen won the seconds. Little header from Vapes goes out to the far touchline. Rashford wins it back and bombs forward, and Kane's got it. England looking for a 6 on the counter-attack. Harry Kane on a hat-trick and denied the opportunity by the challenge from Daskovic, which earns him a yellow card.
Well, he was brought down there, but I think he'll get the opportunity to have a dig at goal from here. Referee's just pulling it back, maybe outside shooting range, but it's certainly in range of getting it up and down over the wall.
And he fancies it. It's 2 cuts of grass outside the penalty area. And just 2 minutes of time are going to be added on at the end of this game. So this might be the last opportunity that England create for a 6th goal. It's the first time, incidentally, that England have scored in 18 straight games since the 1950s, which is another impressive record that they've earned tonight. That was a run of 19 set between 1950 and 53. England have now scored in 18, and they have the opportunity to score their 6th goal of the night as Harry Kane sizes up his first international hat-trick in nearly 4 years. Everybody back. Latvia have a 4-man wall. I don't think Sviedris is going to be able to see too much because the free kick is very central. Bowen walks away. Kane hits it, it's over the bar. Bounces on the running track behind the goal. And that'll be just about the last action of the night.
Yeah, poor effort from him, but he got brought down there, probably about 28 yards out, and you see his eyes light up. A few people come and got around the ball, but no one was going to take that in front of Harry. He was sniffing the hat-trick.
Latvia with one last opportunity to get the ball into England territory. They managed that much, but Dan Burn mops up and goes back for Jordan Pickford. It is going to be a 9th successive international clean sheet for him, extending his own England record. And 810 minutes at the end of the night without conceding a goal, extending his own international record for England. Konsa back for Pickford. Pickford taking a couple of touches, the side footing the ball through the midfield to the impressive Elliot Anderson. Very few England players have made such an immediate impact in their international career as he. Kane rolls it forward, left-hand side of the penalty area. Bowen back, it's palmed away by the goalkeeper, but his touch doesn't fall to Harry Kane. And Latvia again are going to be able to bring it away with Baladis, and that is the end of the night. And it's another job extremely well done by England. A 5-0 win in Latvia. That cements their place in the 2026 World Cup. Several established nations in the footballing hierarchy haven't got a record of qualification like England have got. A 7th successive World Cup, a 9th successive major tournament. Played 6, won 6, scored 19, conceded none. The future is bright. England getting better and better with every game. And this was a thumping win in the Baltic rain.
Fantastic from England, absolutely magnificent. And actually, Latvia gave it more of a game than I think we all expected. They made Jordan Pickford work for his clean sheet at times. The result was never in doubt. England, as soon as they got one, they literally started raining in, and they finished the job off in the second half. I think the only disappointment from my point of view is that Harry Kane didn't get his hat-trick. He'll be gutted as well. We had fun from the fans, bantering with Thomas Tuchel as well. He played his part in that, and that relationship now looks very healthy indeed. But Stuart Pearce, as the England players get together in the rain on the pitch, and they go over to the fans very shortly to thank them for their support tonight. England are scoring goals, they're keeping clean sheets. These are very good habits to get into in a World Cup year, but they're also playing in a different way. It's not just that high pressing, there's a high tempo, and England fans have wanted that for a long time, a high tempo in their play, and they're delivering that now under Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah, well, when I say we, I certainly have been very critical of us on occasion for not pressing from the front aggressively against lesser teams, for making it too easy for lesser teams to get breathers within the game. But tonight, I thought that was absolutely an exemplary performance, both in and out of possession. And it's irrelevant to me how many goals we scored. It really doesn't matter. If you get the performances right, the goals follow. And the performance, make no mistake, was right, both in and out of possession.
Yeah, it was a joy to watch as well. You talked about Rashford sprinting to close down the keeper. I think we all doubted, or a lot of us doubted, whether Harry Kane could actually physically lead a press if England were to become a pressing side. And he did it tonight, didn't he? 90 minutes.
He certainly did. As I say, I've been a little bit critical of Harry leading the press. But what he's got now in this performance, he had Rodgers and he had Declan Rice alongside him. High energy athletes that were going after people. So he played his part, Harry, make no mistake on the press. But if you look how many times we turned the ball over and put it in the back of their net, it probably contributed to 3 of our goals. That's how important it is.
We'll talk more about the performance in a second, but the England players have stepped over the advertising hoardings behind the goal to our right to go over to the England fans. There's a huge gap behind that goal that England were attacking in the second half. Between that goal and the England fans, they're set far back beyond the pitch, but you can hear the noise that they're making, and they know and they're singing that they're on their way to the World Cup next summer in the USA, Canada and Mexico. It has now been guaranteed. The job is completed. It's done. England will be there. The preparation, the planning. Yeah, they could have tentatively started it. Now they can do it full force. No problems. There's going to be no slip-ups. England are definitely going to the World Cup, and it feels so good. And now the race is on for places in that World Cup squad, and these players that have performed in this international break, Stuart, you know, there's a number of players that you can highlight that are maybe coming to the fore at just the right time. Elliot Anderson is one of the big ones, one of the key players. But also you're talking about somebody like, say, Ezri Konsa, for example, who now looks like it will be a huge shock if he wasn't in the squad. You know, you'd be thinking, should he be in the 11 if he isn't in the 11? Players like that, you know, these are players. Dan Burn is almost certainly going to a World Cup in his mid-30s next summer. It's an extraordinary number of players that Thomas Tuchel has got to pick from, and there will be some disappointments along the way, but it's a good thing, isn't it? It's a positive.
Well, I think when the team's been picked as of recent months, I've looked at it and thought real good balance, punch and ability in the wide areas and good energy in the wide areas. Declan Rice playing further up the pitch, a holding midfield player coming in to take Declan's place at the point of the midfield, and so many things are right at the moment or going in the right direction. I wasn't one of those 4 games ago that thought the Andorra performance was that bad. I said to you at the time it wasn't. You know, there was a lot of good things in that. Today's performance, I think, brought everything together that we've seen over the last 4 games, and I've seen a steady improvement there, and this performance today, irrelevant to the score, was an outstanding performance.
It was a great team performance as well. Let's focus on what you just talked about there, that midfield, Rice being allowed to go forward, Elliot Anderson coming in and filling that role. About a year ago, we're looking at, well, it's Kobbie Mainoo even playing for Manchester United. It's a real problem. Is Rice going to have to be deep? Does Bellingham go deep? Do they both go deep? And now it looks like that problem's been solved, and you've got Adam Morton waiting in the wings as well.
Well, don't forget, a year ago there was a clamour with fans and everybody. Put Foden in the team, put Bellingham in the team, put so-and-so in the team. Cram all the best players into the midfield. For me, it doesn't work. You've got to get the balance right. And I said that from the offset when we interviewed Thomas in the summer. The biggest trick you've got probably is get that balance right in midfield, and I think he's got it right at this moment in time.
I think we owe Lee Carsley a bit of a thank you, because he actually did that, didn't he? He put those attacking players in against Greece. Do you remember at Wembley?
Yes, I do.
And we lost the game, and everybody was scratching their heads thinking, what on earth is going on? It was almost like he was proving a point, really, Lee Carsley. You're talking about somebody who's a very well-educated coach, a coach with experience as well, knows what he's doing. It was almost like he was saying to Thomas Tuchel, tell you what, I'll take the hit here. I'll put all these players in. It probably won't work, but I don't mind, because I'm not in the job on a permanent basis. But it will show people, I'm pretty sure this conversation didn't happen, but basically it will show people you can't cram them all in, and that's exactly what it proved.
Yeah, it certainly did, and every team has got someone they call an ugly duckling in there that does unselfish work that people don't actually see. But we've put our ugly duckling in Elliot Anderson, and I don't ever want to be quoted on that statement, and he's actually been our best player.
He's a good looking duckling.
Isn't he just?
He is. I can't see him losing his place in the 11, can you?
Well, put it this way, he's gone in there. There was, Walton was ahead of him a year ago. The game changes very, very quickly, make no mistake about that, and he's taken his chance, and what you've got to do when you wear an England shirt, you've got to take your chance, and you've got to send a message to the manager after every game. I'm playing well enough that you cannot leave me out, and I think there's competition for places here, and I think Tuchel's shown that if he's not happy with something, whatever that may be, He's happy to leave you out the team or maybe even out the squad. And we got some talent not even in the squad at the moment.
Let's have a look at the other end of the pitch. Pickford, when he was called upon, did well. Ezri Konsa put in what I thought was a goal-saving tackle, and he had to get it right. It could have easily have been penalty. But I was so impressed with that because the defence didn't have a huge amount to do, had to stay alert, had to stay 100% and get things right as well.
Yeah, they did. And what they done, the back end of the team, when England were attacking in and around the box, what the back end of the team done, they were aggressive in reading the game. So every time it come out, I lost count. I'll tell you what, if you look at the stats on the amount of time England turned the ball over in Latvia's half, it's through the roof. It's by far the bigger stats than we've ever seen in any of the England games for many, many a year. We turned it over, and that was down to the likes of Anderson and the likes of the back four behind that were there to mop things up.
They're clinical as well at the other end, and sometimes it's been a problem because England haven't been able to make a breakthrough and they've been more and more frustrated. A defence, a low block that's not conceding, gets more and more confident and more solidified as well. But they're being clinical. They had actually 7 shots on target tonight, scored 5 goals. One of them was obviously an own goal, but that's clinical. Yeah, to be fair, they've had 24 efforts at goal, 7 on target, 5 goals. You can't argue with that. They're becoming more clinical. We've always had Harry Kane as a goal scorer. He's got a couple tonight, but others chipping in. Gordon's finish was particularly impressive. I really loved Ez's goal because Jarrod Bowen burst forward. Marcus Rashford's in an offside position, has to come back. Bowen can see that. He's smart. He holds the ball, spots Eza who's onside, and he brings it across and then slots it in. I thought it was a terrific finish from him. We're getting goals across the pitch, not just from Harry Kane.
Yeah, you're right there. And because why wasn't Harry Kane there to put the ball in the net? Because he chased someone back to the halfway line and put pressure on, so Dan Burn could get a foot on the ball, so Jarrod Bowen could win the third tackle, and then he attacks. And then from there, Latvia are unhinged because they've tried to attack, they've tried to break. But so many good things coming out of tonight. Thomas Tuchel will be in that dressing room with the players now saying, we're growing. We're growing as a team, and you're prepared to put the effort and the work in out of possession as well. Where can we go? Time will tell.
It's okay going to Serbia, winning 5-0 and being impressive. Serbia in a bit of disarray, and coming here to Latvia, whose record against top sides is absolutely shocking. Winning 5-0, looking really good, looking the part. Now the job is to do it at the tournament, to do it against the better sides as well. And it might not be 5-0, but how do you translate what they've done? The 2 5-0 away wins, the 3-0 against Wales. How do you translate that and do it at a World Cup against top sides deep in a tournament?
Well, what you're doing at this moment in time, you're growing the confidence within the group. You're growing the work rate within the group. You're growing the confidence to step out, and when it goes up again against the better sides, that's when it will really count.
Let's speak to 2-goal Harry Kane. He's with TalkSport's Faker Others.
Harry, congratulations. You are going to North America for the World Cup. Just sum up your immediate feelings.
Yeah, proud of the boys. It's been a fantastic group so far. I think sometimes it can be underestimated what you achieve. I know we're expected to qualify, but to do it 6 out of 6 with 2 games to spare, I think is credit to everyone involved. So another fantastic game today. I spoke after the last camp about continuing the momentum that we've been building, and I think we've done that. So another clean sheet, 0 goals conceded in the group, and we can enjoy this.
And almost another hat-trick for you. Yeah,
I had a couple of chances. Keeper made a couple of good saves in the second half, the one from the corner especially. So would have been nice, of course, to get another hat-trick in an England shirt for sure. I know how special they are, but overall just happy to add to the team again today, and not just the goals, but the all-round game feels at a high level, and I think we all showed that out there again.
Thomas Tuchel has talked a lot about yourself, Jordan Henderson, John Stones, Declan Rice, setting the standard for this group. What standards have you been setting that we can now see the difference of the last 3 games in particular?
Yeah, I just think the way we train, the way we are in meetings, the way we are together off the pitch, I think it's all really important, especially when you're going into a major tournament. major tournaments are special in their own way, where you spend a lot of time together, where the pressure's really high and it can be intense. So I think just building those standards, I think building the relationships off the pitch, it's just as important as what you do on it. But I think what you're seeing is us in full flow when we're on the pitch. We're talking to each other, we're working, we're running back when we have to, and these are all habits that are going to help us next summer.
And the press is something that Stuart Pearce in commentary highlighted and was really impressed with. Said he actually thinks it's the best he's ever seen England press. Did you feel that out there? I
think so. I think no matter who we play, we want to try and play in that man for man, and then and if they do ever break the press, I feel like we've got the physicality to react and run back and stop the counter attackers as we did today. So I think everyone, especially at their club football, are kind of playing with that high intensity, and we want to start that from the front, with me and the wingers and the number 10s, really trying to put them under pressure. We got our second goal of the night from pressing high, winning the ball back, and sometimes people see it as high risk, but actually you create more chances than what you actually concede. And I've been doing that at Bayern Munich now, especially since Company has been there, and it works well, and it's hard for no matter who you play to get out of that press.
And as England captain, what is your message to this group of players and the group of players that are also trying to push their way back into the squad?
Yeah, just to continue what we've been doing. I just spoke there about we've got some fantastic players still to come back. I think the competition's really high, and that's what you need going into any major tournament. And I know the guys who ain't here through injury or not quite fit, will be itching to get back next month. And no matter who's here, I think we always have a great environment. I think we always have a great team ethic. And like I said, going into next summer, we've only got probably 6 games from now until the first game in the World Cup. So every camp counts, every training session, every game, and I think we're taking advantage of every moment right now.
And my final question is just a message to the fans, not just the ones here, but all the fans that might be straight on the computer booking flights now.
Yeah, it's an exciting time. I think this World Cup's going to be one of the biggest there is. We know America like to do things big, and it's going to be exciting. The Club World Cup for me was a great experience, and it's going to be on another level next summer, so they can enjoy it. I thought the fans today were incredible, and the way support is always incredible, and in major tournaments especially. So everyone should be excited. Never take these things for granted. Celebrate like it's your first one, and then we move forward.
Congratulations, Harry.
Cheers. Thank you.
Harry Kane with TalkSport's Faker. There's more reaction to come on this show and in the Sports Bar, which is coming up very shortly with Jason Cundy and Rory Jennings. 03717 223344. Don't get carried away, but get excited about it. Why not? It's a World Cup in USA, Canada and Mexico. And have a look at Group K, by the way. And that's how you qualify. 6 played, 6 wins, 18 goals scored, none against. I mean, yes, there's levels with the teams that they've faced in Group K. Albania, Serbia, Latvia, Andorra. Clearly no match for England, but there's been no wobbles, no slip-ups along the way, and as Stuart said, confidence growing in the... I mean, that World Cup qualifying table right in front of you, Stuart, that's glorious reading from an England point of view.
Well, it's perfection, Aid. You know what I mean? You're looking at it, we've made very light work of teams in our group, like Albania, Serbia, that can cause problems to anybody, and we've blown them away at this moment in time.
Let's go back down to Faye Carruthers. Anthony Gordon is with Faye.
Yeah, very cold Anthony Gordon, as we all are as well. Congratulations. You've just qualified England for the World Cup. You must be delighted.
No, amazing achievements. Fully deserved for everyone involved. I'm delighted. This has been a great night, watching everyone celebrate and reap the rewards of our hard work. And a reward for you as well with your second England goal. Yeah, I said the other day in my press conference I should have more. I feel like I'm improving every time I play for England. I felt like I played really well against Wales and just lacked that goal at the end, especially that finish when I missed it. So I've been practicing very hard. I thought to play well again tonight and got my goal. You did play really well. You also were cutting into the middle again. Is that something that Thomas Tuchel's been working on you with? He just wants me to be direct in any form, and I felt like I took the line early to make the defenders scared of me a little bit, and they started cutting that off, so I had to adapt. I started driving across and trying to find Bukayo and let him go 1v1, so it's just me trying to be intelligent and selfless. If I can't do it, I've got to give someone else the opportunity. And the press was so intense as well. Is that something that in particular has been highlighted as something that you've needed to work on against these teams that play such a low block? Yeah, I think that's the manager's style. He wants to play high intensity football. You can see it's something we've worked on, and it's getting better and better every game. I think the last 2 or 3 games been so impressive. Teams haven't been able to get out against us, so we're not perfect, we've got to keep going, but it's definitely a big improvement.
How desperate are you to be on that flight out to North America come June?
I can't explain that in words. That's my biggest goal in life, to play a World Cup for England. This one I've dreamed of as a kid, so just because we've been successful in the qualifiers doesn't mean anyone should be sort of sitting back, thinking they're going, because that's certainly not the case. We've got to fight every single training session like we have been doing. Start in November.
Wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you. See you later, Anthony.
There you go, Anthony Gordon with TalkSport's Faker Others. You can hear the excitement. It's so good when you hear an England player excited about winning a game, going to a World Cup, and it's his dream, and it's about to come true.
Hey, these World Cups only come around once every 4 years, and you've got to be in the right place at the right time. You've got to earn the right to be there, and when you get there, you've got to do yourself and the country justice.
We are going to be doing a podcast, the TalkSport Daily, out tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. We're going to be recording it very shortly, Stuart. The battle is on to get those places of the World Cup. I sense that there could be some shocks there. I sense some big names could be left out. This is going to be a really interesting next few months for Thomas Tuchel. The next round of games next month and in March before he names a World Cup squad. This is going to be fascinating.
Aid, we've got 4 games, I think. Is that correct? 4 games before we actually probably name a squad and go to a major World Cup. So if you're not in the squad at this moment in time, you've got to work hard to get in it. And on top of that, when you do get in it and get selected, you've got to give the manager a big, big nudge to say, I want to be part of this.
Well, England are going to be parts of it. They are there, confirmed. Jim Proudfoot can fill us in on what's happened elsewhere tonight.
Well, Portugal aren't confirmed as yet because Dominic Szoboszlai of Liverpool equalised in stoppage time for Hungary, so that finished 2-2 between Portugal and Hungary. So England are the first and so far only European nation to have sealed their qualification. It's been a very busy night across the world in qualifiers tonight. Senegal are 4-0 up. They're going to qualify automatically tonight. The Ivorians have already gone through. They've beaten Kenya 3-0. And have qualified. South Africa also through after beating Rwanda 3-0. They have qualified. That sent Nigeria through to the playoffs. The Democratic Republic of Congo are also going to be in the playoffs along with Cameroon and Nigeria. So it's going to be Cameroon, Nigeria, Gabon and DR Congo. One African team will qualify of those 4 for the intercontinental playoffs. So they've still got work to do. They've got to get through that. In terms of Asia, Qatar and Saudi Arabia have both qualified tonight. UAE and Iraq have missed out. They've gone into the playoffs. They will play each other next month, a 2-legged playoff, and the winners of that will be in the intercontinental playoff as well.
Let's hear from the England manager live now here in Riga with TalkSport's Faker Others.
Thomas, congratulations. You've qualified for the World Cup. First job done. You must be delighted.
Yes, I'm very happy, and it's a very special moment. It's not daily business to qualify for World Cup. So now we made it, and we made it with 6 wins in 6 matches, and had another good performance, a top result. So yeah, we're very happy. Special moment.
What was the overall feeling? With a tiny bit of relief as well as right? Okay, next step now.
Yeah, a bit of relief, very honest, like to then push it over the line. I was a bit nervous today, but when we scored the first one and then the second one, I knew that we are on our way. And anyway, like the guys, we can trust them at the moment. They keep the thing going. They invest what they need to invest. And you see it on the pitch. It's very dominant. They like the hard work. They like to work for each other. So they enjoy being in camp, and it's... So you can see it in the results.
Yeah, you said that you wanted to qualify in style. What pleased you most about that performance?
Again, big team effort. I think like the last goal, if you see the 5th goal in the 85th minute and Harry chases after a ball loss, chases all the way back in his own half to make sure that we win the ball back, and that sets the counter-attack up. That sums it up. It's a lot of effort that we put in to shut other opponents down so early, to have high ball wins. They played good in short distances. We thought they would play more longer balls, so they gave us some problems. But we handled it together, and another good team performance. We are very awake. We're like we invest a lot, and that's the key.
our commentary team of Jim Proudfoot and Stuart Pearce were highlighting the intense high press and the consistent work rate of the players. Is that something in particular that you've been working on, and how difficult is it going to be to replicate that in North America with the conditions you're going to face?
Yeah, we will see. We cannot play like in 8 degrees and rain in Latvia and in America. That's impossible. And still, it's a style that the players love, the style that the players brings the best out of the players. It represents also, I think, English football, to get the thing going and not wait and be hesitant and just go for it. And the players love it. The play put it into life. This is the most important. And then we adapt when it's necessary to adapt, and it will be necessary. And when we arrive, we will adapt to the heat. And of course, it will naturally be less intense, the matches, if we play in the heat. But still, it's our style, it's our identity at the moment, and full credit to the team.
So this is the identity now, and I don't like to talk about negatives when you've just qualified for the World Cup, but I'm wondering, because obviously, you know, you're now going to have a plan up until June and then through till mid-July. If there was anything negative about this camp, is there anything that you can highlight that you would like to improve on in particular?
There's always stuff to improve, but I'm not so well prepared for the next months, I have to say. Everything as a coach, we gave everything now for these 2 matches. I have no plan for the next camp, and for sure not for the World Cup up my sleeves. So we will take our time. Now we take 2-3 days and enjoy this special feeling, and it is a special day, a special achievement. And yeah, there's always stuff to improve. There are not negatives per se, I would say, but there's always stuff to improve within the games, within the organization, within like how we set things up. We will revise this camp like we always do next Monday, I think, in St. George's Park, and then take the next step forward. We will not stand still. We will try to improve and get everything going in November.
Okay, you've semi-answered my last question to you, which is, what is first on the to-do list now that you've qualified?
First is we review the camp as always, because it's important to that we sleep over it and then review what was good, what could we do better, where can we improve, and then we will give all our thoughts to the next camp. It comes very quickly. We're now qualified. Harry just said it as a captain in the dressing room, guys. We will show up in November and we will get this thing going, no matter if we're qualified or not. This is something we're building here. So yeah, but we have the chance maybe to test some more players now, and maybe we have the chance, I don't know, to share some minutes. We have some time to decide this now. Now is the moment to enjoy, because it's a special moment, and yeah, everything else will come.
Congratulations, Thomas.
Thank you.
There you go, the England manager Thomas Tuchel, and it feels like just a few weeks ago people were wondering what the Tuchel England identity was, and it's clear from that interview and from the way England are playing, Stuart, England have a clear identity under this man.
Yeah, I think you look at the team lineup and you can see a team that has got a real good balance. That adds to the identity. They play with high energy, as he mentioned whenever I've heard him talk. That's how English teams play, high energy. So why wouldn't you play that way when you wear your national shirt, for sure? And the togetherness and the camaraderie that has been built upon from 2016 with Gareth is starting to come back, and that feel-good factor. And I've got to tip my hat to the fans tonight. They were magnificent. They've suffered a little bit of criticism, not in a bad way, but, you know, Thomas Tuchel said, come on, we need a bit of atmosphere at Wembley, and fair comment, OK, we'll take that. And the fans have come back tonight, and they've delivered a performance from the terraces that was quite amusing and brilliant in the pouring rain.
Yeah, they were 10 out of 10, weren't they? Are you busy next summer? You want to join us at the World Cup?
I'll see what I'm up to, my friend, shall I? Yeah.
You're in charge of gigs
yeah, I am.
in the States.
It's fair to say. Well, I'm just hoping we'll be based in Boston for a bit of the Dropkick Murphys or a bit of Green Day or something like that in between games.
I'm sure you'll find a gig somewhere for us all to go to. I can't wait. Honestly, cannot wait. So excited already. You can join Stuart, Jim Proudfoot and myself for the England debrief. We'll be breaking down all the action from tonight. We'll be celebrating England booking their place at the World Cup. We will be looking at who's already in that squad, who's a definite, who's a probable, who's probably not going, and those that didn't make this squads, do they get back in before the World Cup next summer? That's on the TalkSport Daily, available 5 a.m. as a podcast tomorrow morning. My marks out of 10 are about to go up on the TalkSport website, talksport.com. No real negatives, only one player frustrated me tonight. England scoring goals, keeping clean sheets. These are good habits. The draw for the World Cup takes place in Washington, D.C., December the 5th. TalkSport will be there. The World Cup starts on June the 11th next year. England will be there. We're off to America. Donald Trump will be involved. He's solved the Middle East crisis. Maybe get him on the England staff and we'll win the World Cup. Who knows? I don't say this often, but look at the qualifying table. England, perfect. The Sports Bar is next on TalkSport. 03717 223344.
The Sports Bar with TalkSport Bet. Stay on the ball with our safer gambling tools. Find out more at talksportbet.com. 18+gambleaware.org.
Kick off on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. 18+gambleaware.org.